Morning, everyone. One of the biggest things for a helper on the planet at this time is to express how they've found what love truly is and stayed in the awareness of it. Because when it comes to the core of all matter, that's essentially what creates. We're supported because we are part of, you can say one with, but we're not in full connection of it, light. We become more full in connection of light, which is very intelligent to the highest light vibration. We become more in connection to it through love. And you can't fake it, which is why ego operation and stupidity attached to that doesn't make it. Like, you see, you can't own light. You can't own love. So it's idiot source trying to box it. When we come up against the crap that looks like it has power on this earth. So it's the biggest wake-up call ever to this stupidity, okay? Because at the end and at the start of any cycle momentum you want to initiate from the very creation to eternity, we are light. And in varying dimensions, you are aware of lesser light for the experience in the slower dimension. It's not to get caught up in the slower dimension, which is resonant to anything hidden or sneaky or nobody can see it. Bullshit. We are light. So love created planet Earth. There was an idea. There was enough inspiration for creation. Spirit. If there was no idea, there would be no expansion. So what I'm trying to say is, at this time, do your best to understand that you can't box light or love. You can't be so much of the denser vibrations and think that you're tricking the surface of Earth's people, that I am really light and love. Now give me all your light and love. Like the one person or people on this planet that do this, think to themselves, they're going to be able to maintain a certain amount, whatever they're focused on, of light and love, if still the core intent is not to essentially match the vibrations received of love and walk their heavenly path of love. if their intent is only to take advantage and try and box light and love, and I don't mean box because they're well aware that we have a round planet, so because their aims are, you know, I've got this and I want more. So it's very much a global focus. But, you know, then they speak of their little expansions and things, which is another thing, not for right now, because it's very small. They try to make it seem very big, naming a planet, but it's minute of light inspiration. So it's not going anywhere. From what I received the other day, it's actually more of a attention-seeking focus, like what I'm talking about. To have enough attention, but then it'll just fall in the ass anyway. So when one who has been in the light enough, they don't, I'm speaking of myself now, they don't come to earth to muck about on earth as though the highest hasn't come here for a skimpy little role, like just to get waved around in the attention of minute ridiculousness. They've come here because we're in a light evolution, and my arrival, many others' arrival, are going to, we have strongest light connection. Now, no one can own that. And, you know, I'm not going to beat around the bush when people are trying to box it mentality. So, let's get back to it. Love is prominent on our earth to be used. We know this. Because whether it's a thought, I should do that just to help, like a surface thought, or whether it's I actually have a connection with someone I cannot explain, and it magnetically draws me to them, and I cannot explain it. This is a divine light, probably like historic soul tribe connection, and for whatever reason we do not need to know, you go with the flow of the feeling because it is divine. All right? If you stand these humans opposite to each other at whatever length, they will want to be together. Now, stand there for long enough and go, there is, you know, they will be like this. There is something about you. Now, in all honesty for me, with what's going on, it's past the appearance. Because of my evolution, I don't look to the surface. Wherein his evolution, he's discovering love is past the surface. It's not what we do on the surface or keep people happy and smiling on the surface. Okay? So there's that battle and discrepancy of this going on the planet, right? It becomes mindless because people tell themselves or have lived through whatever period of time believing that for whatever reason, and I don't even want to get into it because it's just so empty. That's the thing. It's like, love isn't real for me because I experienced this. Okay, but if they could just detach from their own self-talk of nonsense, love is why you have a life, and light is where you'll go back. So it's not that it has abandoned us. It's because accept, you have challenges as a soul to accept. So it's very, you become a wise soul as you go through your challenge because you embody the acceptance of it. You become a wiser version of yourself, your soul. It's powerful. It's light. And love won't be a thing then. It will be a light, Light and I worked together and made available that I was given the challenge for my soul to walk, and I see how much love there is. Whereas the mind of the human and like the young soul, the one that hasn't progressed, whatever you want to call it, will say, I just get challenges. Or because of my challenge vibration that I don't like my challenges, I attract doubters and I believe the doubt more and more. And so I just bathe in a dwelling of doubt of myself, right? This is the young soul. Don't matter what you've done in the past as a soul, you still have evolution to go through. And that is a young, whingy human, young soul in its evolution. So we can come here for big challenges in our lifetime and we have to accept them. Okay? Now, let go of the fucking ego over that. The more you battle what you've set up with God, the more you'll feel like an idiot. And so, did you hear the step I mentioned that once you accept your challenge, right? But the thing is, they have to feel that what they're doing is the truth, is empty. You're battling God, for Christ's sake. You'd have no battle if there was no God. You'd have no challenge and love to experience if there was no God. So you have to decide, do you take the step because that is what has given you the step, God? For the challenge to learn of what love is, like what love can be, what it, it's available. That's what I want to get to. This is the one point that lots of teachers, or even when you're going through anything in people who think they want to heal, but keep going back to the mind and the way life is or was. It's more like, can you accept to let something go so that you can be shown the way that love is actually more than what you think? because they think. So a healing or going to natural therapies is normally asking you, why are you here? Okay, and that's it. Why are you here? So it can be just a physical focus to begin with, but then in the physical is a build-up of what's been going in the mental and emotional. So there can be a clearing on all these levels to get to the spirit, just feeling, right? Okay, but it's not just a, it's a, I'm willing to clear what I believe because I'm being asked to open up to more of life. I wouldn't be asked to open up to more of life if I've made it to some kind of end and finish and I know it all, which is the trickery of the mind in the battle of, if I get it all for myself, or if I get it the way I want it, or if I keep it the way I've got it all set up. That's a trickery, and call it what you like. It's a bundle of fucking illusion held in place. All right? So it's a bundle of energy and thought and I'll do this and I've got this held in place. All right? That's hard work. Now, just stop for a second. Have you been challenged about that to go a different path? You have that because you're God, you're light, and there's something there to do with love. God is love. God loves you. God is not powerful, almighty light if he was just gonna send you to the fucking dark to fight for love. Like that you're empty of it and you only get it from other people. This is why we don't need to fight, like to have the feeling of love. We don't need to treat anyone bad to look good as though we have it all sorted. Look at me, this is what you can call love. But, you know, I also do this to like lots of people, you know. You can't do both because the fact you have the limited version, the hidden version that I tell everyone I care, but I really am setting up this to happen to them, you know, limited. Which is probably why Trump does this kind of thing too. I just noticed that as I was holding my hands, he often does this thing where he's like this. Oh, I couldn't stand that when he was in the Oval Office with Zelensky. If only we could have seen that happen right there, where he was saying that Zelensky should be thanking him, but yet the lying blonde prick holding his hands like this is actually saying, I believe in a certain thing. I'm actually supporting this going on because it serves my friendship with the Russian bloke. And it also doesn't serve my Russian friend because on that part, I'm still trying to get something with him. So it's just like this big, I'm holding my hands as though, you know, I'm giving, but I'm not. I'm trying to hold it all for myself. oh my God, it's just atrocious. That you actually got someone sitting in the same office right beside him that has been through so much suffering with his people. Like, you know, oh my God. Anyway, so yeah, you can't do both. And now we're learning that and waking up to it. So, I mean, there in a nutshell shows you. Right? So if we had someone with a different thought process in office, any representation of any leadership of any level, you can't be two-faced. All right? Because especially just not now. We are on heaven's side for this planet. Get on heaven's side for this planet. We all got enough problems. We don't need to create more against each other. Like, if you accept that we're all brothers and sisters of earth, we all got enough little things going on that we want to keep a balance of in ourselves so that we can just move forward and create. There is a planet of that nature. Because that's what we are. So you have your little challenges. Like I will say, no matter the size of them, right, they are still your own challenges. So you can make a big thing out of it, like, you know, your doubts can grow massive. You can do this and you can say that. But still, at the end of the day, it's still you have a challenge, and it's got to do with you learning more of what God wants to show you. He has something that he wants to show you. And God is love. So if God asks you, though, to go through some challenges, you can trust that it's leading you somewhere. Which is what I have experienced in this life. Knowing that each time Teresa, the human, just the human, right, without spirit or soul, just the human, thought it was a challenge, then my spirit, Teresa had been taking care of the spirit. They are one, but I'm showing you how we have thought 3D. Oh, I've got a challenge. No, I don't want to do it. God hates me, blah, blah, blah. That is a story. When you're given everything, so you know, right, especially us in like first world conditions, we got everything we need on the outside, pretty much. We've got a spirit, we've got body, we've got mind, we've got emotions. So you take care of what you think and what you feel. No one else is in control of that. So if I feel like I've got a challenge to face with my mind, emotions, physicality involved, obviously it's all one, this is my spirit, I take care of myself firstly. You do all the physical things needed for your spirit, right? You balance your emotions and mind. You make sure you are running your power source by doing things, telling your mind, I'm taking care of Teresa's soul by enjoying this, by expanding this, by doing this. But God has this other challenge for me in this. This must be because the track I'm on wants to open. So I don't just look at it like fucking doomsday or something. I have everything I need. God is not going, I strike you down with suffering, because I'm obviously on a high-spirited path because I'm taking care of what I've been given. I got this body, I got this mind, I got emotions. I'm not just letting myself do anything in the world because you will find realignment then. Something will go on if you're not balancing these things and are going around a bit unconscious, like with them. You know, we know the extremes of this. You can just go around unconscious where you're not mastering what you've been given so far to find the balance. So you're not going to look at a challenge as though, you know, God has set something up for me to see, something for me to learn, something for me to let go of and expand. I am a growing being, eternal soul, expanding. And no matter what the challenge is. So if it's something small, like someone says something to you and you're triggered, that's your triggering. That's your challenge. Okay? You don't have to connect with that person at all. You don't. You can with ego. Because what the ego says inside, the unevolved ego says, you know, I'm going to fight you because of what you think of me. Well, you don't have to even worry what they think of you. That's the evolved soul. Like, don't get attached to really, do you have an option? Do you have 100 options? Can you ignore that, smile and walk away? Trust me, you'll feel better. That's what you want. And so that's that kind of confronting, you could say non-important kind of challenge. You do have an option in the moment to remove yourself. You do have an option not to listen to what's being said if it doesn't resonate truth to you in any way. All right? But it doesn't mean to say, you know, you have to go out teaching everybody lessons that they should know you, or, you know, you don't want to listen to what they say for some reason and they should know it. No, you live on a planet where everyone's got to express themselves and create. So you let everyone do that. But when you know something's not true for you, then don't get attached to it. And perhaps the ego challenges, listen a little longer. There's something in it for you. But you aren't accepting that challenge because you're an ego. Your mind and emotions are like entitled in some way. That you know, all the bullshit that the ego can hold back the soul and spirit with. The ego can be overbearing and just want to take up all the space. And then you got the whole mind and emotion situation going on there, where the person has to limit their ego and really ask, what is my growth here? So real spiritual presence work with oneself. Am I overbearing? You know, blah, blah, blah. But the whole point is, if you come up against things, it's good experience to actually ask what the learning is God has sent you for. Because you may not get the whole answer open up, but you will get the answer of just keep going there. Or, I mean, that's a big one. Just keep on the track, because if you're not hearing go somewhere else, this is more important to go there, you know, you'll feel it. And this comes with the balance of checking in what you're doing with your mind and emotions. What do I truly need to do? Because there is a team effort going on here. There is a co-creation going on here. I do have a path that is looked out over me. And I can ask for assistance at any time. But I'm only going to get what I need to receive because I've still got to walk the path. And that's how things open up and we're like, oh, that dream of mine's manifest. Because when you accept the challenge, that's the way it opens up. And if you don't accept the challenge, you're still stuck in some kind of control. So I mainly wanted to say, yep, as we hit the 30-minute mark, I thought we might be around that. Mainly wanted to say, get across the power that is going to be an ongoing evolution, but should easily lay out sort of in consciousness on this planet, because it's not difficult once we accept it. That all forms of deity, as one with God, having mastered awareness of light, not through intellectualizing, but through basically challenge experience, have realized for themselves, become wiser in the light. Wiser people can say less because the light just pours through the higher wisdom. So that's basically it. When you say less, sometimes you can't. You got to explain it because that's Earth at the moment. But when you say less from your higher light wisdom you have reached through your own challenge, received, understanding, light, learning, and felt from that like the byproduct, God's love. Just love. So, God is light. But we don't discount light. It's blows your mind. To be on earth and to remember and be opening up to my light body that it reached, some moments I so don't want to be embodied, because not that I want to leave the planet in any way right now, because we're getting the ball rolling. But the gloriousness is opposite to the shit we've created for ourselves on this planet. So of course, if you can feel into, as we do in meditation, that is not imaginary. We may have used our imagination, like our energy field, to relax, to like see color perhaps, to visualize nature perhaps, but we're going to a real place energetically, a real higher and higher dimensional feeling. Okay, it's real. So that's where love is available to you. It's not available if you hold yourself in limitation. You won't feel it, you won't believe it. You'll just go on what you've known so far. Haven't had it, don't have it. God don't give a shit. I'm just one of those suffering beings, and us suffering beings join together, and this is the way it is. Illusion. You followed through on latching onto some negativity. You believed it. The ball got rolling in the shitty feelings. And therefore, anyone else who looks like they have love, you want to take it from them. This is the kind of mindset that goes on in the lower vibration of the crap we got going on the planet to try and draw in people's attention, hence the biggest one that we know at the moment, and counter parts of this crap, trumpet. You know, doo-doo-doo-doo. Who's listening to me? Not that I give a shit for caring for you like one's meant to as a leader of love. I mean, that is what you're harping on about, right? Love me, make America great again. Well, he is like the plug hole to that. You know, I'm not letting any more love in because he's not an honest receiver of it. Whatever attention he gets, it's for himself. And he just... So, 30-minute mark, Teresa, come on. Leave it at. It's just so like enticing for people to go through whatever's in front of them and ask for light help. Like, it's real, it's not limited. It's here for a massive expansion that is bigger than us. And, you know, join the ball that's rolling with that, because anything less is going to be less. If you believe in less for yourself, you are going to be rolling with that ball, which is the old 3D ball. So just like, if you ever scratch your head over this, it's a check-in with yourself. All right? Think globe, think light evolution, light expansion. Now, this didn't just happen overnight. This has been going on because we've done atrocities on this planet. All right? But not only that, it's just gotten like real bad. We could have evolved with some intelligence, but we've taken the slower battle each other route, thinking we're going to take the planet into a dark place and just a few of us are going to inhabit the planet with all the attention on us, and we're going to make our own fucking planet via some points of leaders or something like this. I'm sorry, but that is not a heavenly perspective for just a few souls in comparison to 8 billion. That's not the plan. So chill the fuck out with your egos. It's not all about money and what you have and standing out for however many. I don't even want to mention it because money just doesn't come into it. If you got enough and you have some more, then great. But it is not a thing in a heavenly perspective for your growth on the planet. Unless it's not a thing for you and, you know, like it should be, foundations in balance, I've got enough. I'm enjoying my life. I could enjoy my whole, say, 100 years here, and I could also help. Now, that's a balanced perspective. It's not being known for what figures fall behind your name or anything like that. Unless you are helping yourself and whoever you creatively endeavor to enjoy your life and experience greater, vaster, intelligent, integrated, inclusive of what gave you life on this planet in the first place. Powerful light and love. Now, if your fellow beings are not looking like they are in a balanced position like yourself, and you've got excess, of anything at all resourceful, then heaven would say, help. That's not yours. You're not bringing it back. Don't act like an almighty powerful, and definitely don't get evil to them who appear to be evolving their souls into balance. In other words, take care of the vulnerable and the weak if you see them. You got enough, don't you, mate? You know? But currently, they would cross their arms and act all high and mighty like they're fucking God or something. Yeah. But like I said, and wise teachers have said, heaven is in it for the long game. So this isn't an overnight, light love expansion. This is because we have these kind of mindsets that actually think they're going to be horrible so they can have better lives. Yeah, that's not why Earth is here, and it's a ridiculous slow down evolution. So, anyway, can we leave it there? Light, love, evolution is your consciousness choice in motion. Make sure, if you believe you're a wise soul, that you take all into account. Not try to limit some so you have more for yourself. That is an imbalanced mindset. You need to find balance in yourself, honestly and truthfully, at the heart center of heaven and earth. You find your balance, you give it out on the planet by being who you are. That's all for now. I feel like I've talked plenty. God bless.